Hello everyone and welcome back to a Let's Play of Doom 2 with your host Invalid. And we are now at the final confrontation, also known as Map 30, the Icon of Sin. Before we get started, this game, or this level, is either going to be really short or really, really long. Because this boss fight is a pain in the butt to do correctly. But I don't know. Let's find out, and I can talk more about the design and thoughts behind it and stuff like that, and get frustrated. And now enter post-commentary me and falling off floors like a dumbass. So the reason I'm actually switching over to post-commentary here, we will be going back to live commentary after I've managed to beat the boss, but I've actually recorded this a couple times and had some very miserable moments because trying to speak and play this area at the same time is next to impossible for me. There's so much going on in this fight that it becomes really difficult to focus on what I'm saying. Actually, it becomes difficult to talk at all. It's that whole let's play speaking while playing conundrum. Especially with this area, it takes a huge amount of focus. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just not talk while I'm playing and do post-commentary afterwards. Which also allows me to talk about some of the other stuff that goes along with this fight. Design-wise and stuff like that. As you can see, this is a shithole of bullet hell, monster spawning, non-stop monster spawning, I might add. There is no limit to the number of monsters this thing will spawn. This Icon of Sin, which is what most people refer to it as, doesn't actually have an official name. In the official Doom guide, it's referred to as the Dark One. But it's also referred to different names in the final Doom expansions, both TNT and Evolution. I think it's Evolution. Or Evolution or something like that. Which have two separate names. Which I can look up. But well, there's my first death. To bloody revenants, of all things. There are, I mean, basically any, sorry, I just hit the mic. Basically any projectile enemy in this level is a pain in the ass to deal with. But revenants and mancubi in particular are perhaps the most annoying. But basically every single enemy type spawns here, with the exception that I know of pain elementals and lost souls, as well as the other boss monsters, which are the spider mastermind and the cyber demon. I don't think those spawn on this level, but everything else does, including arc vials. I have actually seen arc vials, and the longer you spend on this level dealing with the final boss, the more difficult the enemies will spawn, or the more difficult enemies will spawn in, which Arachnotrons and arc vials, respectively. But yeah, the final. There's another death. I guess it was more than twice, which is what I referred to it as the end in the when I go back to live commentary. But the Icon of Sin is referred to in TNT Evolution. Oh, it's TNT Evolution and the Plutonia Experiment. Those are the two final Doom expansions. Or, yeah. It's called Demon Spitter and Gatekeeper, respectively. However, in the final Doom manual introductory story, it's called Baphomet. And that is the same name that the design for this creature is based on. The Icon of Sin is actually based on a pagan devil god known as Baphomet, spelled B-A-P-H-O-M-E-T, which is normally depicted with a goat skull head and a human body, as we're seeing right here. So it's actually got some really cool stuff going on. And the spewing monsters out of its brain, or spawning monsters, birthing monsters, if you will. Somebody pointed out on the wiki that it's actually reminiscent of how... let's see. Of how the birthing of... Oh, what's her face? How the birthing of Satan's daughter Sin in Paradise Lost happens, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of little itty bits of trivia that are really interesting for this boss, including, and the other thing that happens that's kind of cool with this boss is the introductory voice line, where it sounds like it's that demonic phased Andrew died, Imboyenso Nemzo Neku, or something like that. If you actually reverse the soundtrack and play it backwards, it's actually John Romero saying, "To beat the game, you must kill me, John Romero." And that line was actually recorded kind of unbeknownst to most of the other people during development. John Romero came in one night and the sound designer was there and he's like, "Hey, let's record some random shit." And the other developers came in and were wondering what the heck was going on, and that was the secret behind it. It was kind of it's actually kind of an inside joke. And there's another piece that I'll be talking about here that's also more of an inside joke, more or less. So it's some really cool stuff with the design of this boss, but it's kind of a shit show with how it actually plays out. It's really not enjoyable for a lot of people. But if you haven't figured it out, what you're basically trying to do is get rockets into that exposed part of the brain of the icon of Sin here in order to kill him. And that's how you win. And we beat him. So now, back to live commentary. Oh my fucking god. Ugh. Thank goodness for post-commentary. So yeah, like I said, this boss is unfortunately one of the worst designs as far as boss fights are concerned. The stuff that goes behind it is great, but how it plays out just sucks. But we still have a couple things to show off before we're done with this game, so... well, let's read that end description. The horrendous visage of the biggest demon you've ever seen crumbles before you after you pump your rockets into his exposed brain. The monster shrivels up and dies, its thrashing limbs devastating untold miles of Hell's surface. You've done it. The invasion is over. Earth is saved. Hell is a wreck. You wonder where bad folks will go now when they die. Wiping the sweat from your forehead, you begin the long trek back home. Rebuilding Earth ought to be a lot more fun than ruining it was. And now, of course, we get the credits for Doom 2, which includes the monsters instead of the people that made this game. Good old shotgun guy, go screw yourself. You can go die. Imp, you can go die as well. With the lovely, which soundtrack is this? One of the, the secret levels. I can't remember which track this is for. I think it's for... What is it called? Anyway, you can stop chewing on me. And Lasso can just go die. Good old Hell Knight. And the version that was in the first game, the Baron of Hell. Lovely little Racatrons and Pale Elementals, which can go die. Revenants make that last fight so annoying. And Mancubi, of course. Arcviles, just... no. Just... At least they don't spawn these guys in the final battle, as far as I know. And of course, our hero. Man, I love the design for the face, though. It just looks really cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and start showing off some of the other stuff. So as you saw with my 2 attempts, it's taken me many, many more before. But with my 2 attempts, it was very difficult to actually get a rocket into that part of the exposed brain. However, since we are in a source port, there's something we can do that you wouldn't be able to in the original game. Which also makes taking care of this Revenant over here a lot easier as well. Whoa, hello. Don't mind me. Ow. Whoop, not quite what I wanted to do. Oh boy. So now we can just stand here and do this. Makes that whole fight way easier when you have the mouse look on. But that's not all. We have a couple other things to learn about it as well. Some little trivia bits that I think you guys might find interesting that don't already know about it. Not sure if I talked about it in post-commentary. I probably haven't, since I'm going to be recording this live piece first. But I'm actually going to go ahead and put on a no-clip here to show off something about this fight. There's actually a tunnel, and inside you can find John Romero's head. Isn't that just lovely? So we actually do have to kill John Romero. And that's actually the reason that you need the rocket launcher for this fight and why no other weapon works. Because the BFG works on line of sight, which you don't have. That was random. Which you don't actually have if you're standing on that pillar. And since he's under this little shelf right here, you can't hit him with any of the other weapons. All you can do is hit him with a rocket launcher. Unless, of course, you're actually inside here, and then you can just do this. And another fun little fact, something else you can do, which I'll just show off right now because why the hell not, is, you know what, just do this because screw it. Actually, before I forget, let me just do this real quick. We'll get there eventually. Oh, that was good. Good job, me. Good freaking job. But one of the other things that can happen, along with Mouselick making this level really easy, how the fuck are you not dead yet? Get out of here. One of the other things that can happen... hold on. I can't show it off there really very well, but you can actually die. If you kill the final boss, and you jump into all the explosions that happen when the boss dies, it will kill you. Even if you're at 195 health or something like that, and 195 armor, it will kill you. The bright side on that, though, is that you'll still win as long as you don't press use. It's automatically set to trigger a win if you kill the final boss, which is, I find that really funny. But yeah, that is Doom 2, everybody. With all the little extra trivia bits and whatnot. So, I hope you enjoyed, and in the next video, well, there isn't going to be a next video for this, really. There's not a whole lot to show off as far as bonus is concerned, unless I want to go back through the game and show off other secrets, but I'm not going to do that. But that is the end of this Let's Play. So overall, the game I find actually really enjoyable. It's... I don't know, it's Doom. What can I say? It does come with its flaws, though. Sometimes the combat can be a little too in favor of the monsters, and a lot of stupid gimmicks that the levels can have. And those 2 empty secrets. Just like, really? Really? What were they thinking? But overall, I really enjoy the game. It's a nice harken back to the old days of video games, before my time, actually. So yeah. But I hope you all enjoyed this Let's Play. Future Doom games will very likely include Doom 3, and when I have the hardware and actually own the game, Doom 2016 as well. Not going to be showing up in the near future on this channel, but it will be up here at some point. So that'll be fun. But yeah. Until the next Let's Play, guys, next video, whatever that might be, have a wonderful day, everyone, and take care. Bye for now.